And here are all the teams that I currently belong to. And you can see some of them are my classes. So right here, this is the class that's having the meeting coming up. I'm going to go to Class 101 Group. And here in the General channel, you can see my class meetings are set up. And here's the meeting that has started. And so I'm going to go ahead and click into here and join. So you see, as soon as I hit join, a new window pops up. This is the meeting window, and I'm given options for what I want to do. So I can have my camera on or off, my microphone on or off. We usually recommend you go ahead and turn your microphone off for the duration of the meeting, or at least until your instructor asks you not to avoid any feedback that might occur. Then I have the option for my background. So as lovely as it is to be able to see my gallery wall behind me, maybe I don't want my classmates to see that. So maybe I'm going to blur it. Or I can go one step further and you'll see all of these are Microsoft uploaded backgrounds that I can choose. So maybe I'm going to be in a classroom today, and I can preview that in this window here. You're also able to add a new background. You can upload a personal picture you find on the internet. Those can be really fun. And then here you have the device settings for where you get your microphone, where you hear things. Right now I'm wearing headphones. That also kind of prevents the feedback in the same way that muting your microphone does. So I can choose to have as my speaker my external headphones or my computer speaker. Stick with my headphones, same with the microphone. And then the camera, what's capturing me. I only have one option, so that's what I'm going with. And then now that I know all of those things, I'm all set, I can join the meeting. So you have a good amount of control before you join the meeting so that you're not just joining the meeting blindly. So now I am in the meeting, and you see here's my instructor over here. Here's one of my classmates. This is what shows up if you don't have a picture. It's going to be your initials. The video is not on. Now, if my instructor is presenting and other people are going to be talking, but it's important for me to focus on whatever the professor is saying, I can come over to her picture and click these three dots, and I'm able to pin her video feed. And that means that no matter, a lot of times Teams default is if you go to talk, it will bring that video up and highlight it. But maybe I don't want that to happen. Maybe I need to focus on whatever is on the professor's screen, or whatever it is coming through for her video feed. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and unpin that. And here at the top of the meeting window, you can see this is how long the meeting has been going on. Then we come over here, and this is my participants list. So I can click here, and this will show me everyone who is currently in the meeting. And so you can see once that loads, there are 3 of us. And then this little text bubble is going to be the chat box. And so once that appears, I'm able to see what other people have been saying, and I'm able to contribute to that as well. So in the box, I'm able to type maybe what is the homework for tonight. And then by hitting this little arrow, kind of looks like a paper airplane, it'll be posted to the chat window. Now, maybe I didn't mean to type that, or wanted to change exactly what I said. I can go to the chat. If I hover over it, these options will appear, and I can hit the 3 dots, and you'll see that I'm able to delete the comment. Equally, when you see my professor has responded to me, I'm able to hover over hers, and so I could maybe give her an emoji, a thumbs up, to thank her for sharing the information, the homework. But I'm also able to hover over, and in those 3 dots that should appear, I am able to save this message for later. And that way, maybe other things will happen in the chat box. I'm able to come back and find the homework that I need to do later. Down here you'll also see I could upload a file with a paperclip. I could put a picture in, a GIF, or a sticker. I can also raise my hand if I have a question and let the instructor know that I want to say something, have a question, comment. In the three dots, you'll see the more actions. I'm able to go back to my device settings. I'm also able to change my view settings. So here I am in gallery mode, which is just the squares, but I can also do together mode, which shows everyone's video in a cartoon auditorium. And here I can turn on live caption. So if someone is speaking somewhat imperfectly, but it will be able to capture what everyone is saying. And here I can go back and turn my camera off, back on, I can mute myself, and I'm able to share my screen. So the box with the arrow, by clicking that, it's going to give me an option to show any of the windows that I currently have open or just my desktop as it is. So if I had a PowerPoint open or needed to navigate to something to show my professor, I'm able to click there. And there's also the whiteboard option, so you can go through and draw on the whiteboard if maybe you're being asked to do a math problem. So let's say I want to go ahead and I'm going to share my Microsoft Teams, what's called the client window. And I know that that's being shared because there's a red box around the client window. And when I'm finished sharing it, I can just go back here to the box with the X. And I know that it's no longer being shared because up here my share window is back to being an arrow instead of an X. In the fall, you're going to have the option for breakout rooms. Your instructor might have you go ahead and meet in breakout rooms to discuss or to complete an activity. When that happens, the instructor most likely will be able to click a button and you will go into a breakout room. But if your instructor is using channels, you're going to do it a little more manually. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my meeting with the instructor. And I'm going to go back to my team, so my class. And here you can see there are two groups. The first group has a little lock next to it. That means that it's private. Only certain students are in that meeting. And chances are your instructor has made it public, which means there's no lock, but I wanted to let you know what that means in case you have the lock. That means it's just a specific group of students will be in that meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and go into group one. I'm part of this meeting. And up here with the little video camera, I'm going to go ahead and hit meet. And you'll see just like before, it gives you the option. So I can choose to have my camera on or off, microphone on or off. All of those settings are there, and then I can hit join. And in this new meeting, once I join, the instructor doesn't necessarily see what I'm saying or doing unless the instructor joins. And so even if I raise my hand, if I have a question in this group, she's not going to know. And so if I want her attention, one thing I can do is come into the chat box and I'm going to be able to type her name with the @ symbol in front of it. And that will alert her, give her a notification that in this meeting I have a question, and she'll be able to pop into our meeting and answer it. So when I'm finished with this meeting in breakout groups, it's going to automatically bring me back. But if we're doing it the manual way through channels, I'm going to leave this meeting and go back over to general and rejoin the meeting with my instructor. And again, I'm given the option for what I want that to look like. And I'm going to hit join now. And now I am back in the meeting. So when I'm finished with that, I'll go ahead and hit leave. And you'll see here, I still have all of the options to revisit exactly what was stated in the meeting. And I've also got this saved for later in case there's a lot of chat happening. So that was your introduction to Microsoft Teams.